Hey neighbor, welcome back to ARTV. My name is John, and it's time to review the sophomore album Guts by the singer-songwriter Olivia Rodrigo. Dan Nigro returns as the producer for her sophomore set, and I really think they've developed kind of a kinetic energy in the studio, so it's nice to see that she stuck with him because the results are kind of electrifying. Olivia's debut album Sour seemingly took the world by storm out of nowhere. I didn't see Driver's License coming, and neither did most of you, but after Good For You and some of the other hits like Deja Vu, I was sold on Olivia being more than just the supposed industry plant. Olivia Rodrigo's songwriting has gotten even stronger. It's matched by more searing instrumentals of the punkier variety, indie rock, and yes, some of the ballads as well. Think of her like Gwen Stefani, Avril Lavigne, Taylor Swift, all thrown into a blender, and out comes a somehow unique creation that is Olivia. The whole bratty younger sister thing she has going on really works for the benefit of the entire record because she isn't constantly stuck in sarcasm mode, but when it gets there, it hits the sweet spot for me as a very sarcastic person living vicariously through this. One of the relatively minor complaints I had about Sour is that it was over-reliant on ballads, specifically piano ballads, and while they do appear on this record, I like that immediately she kind of subverted expectations, with Vampire seemingly being kind of the reboot Driver's License 2.0, except it flips that switch and goes wild, especially in that back half. Even just looking at the musical atmosphere on Guts, I think this album is so much richer than its predecessor. Songs like Bad Idea Right evoke feelings of the 90s rock space with a little bit of Riot Girl thrown in, and it fucking rocks! The live instrumentation in the studio and the fact that she has a band touring on this music just makes it feel more authentic, less polished, and just a little bit more gritty, especially when you're getting the unfiltered honesty that is Olivia Rodrigo. All American Bitch tees it up beautifully and strikes that hole-in-one right out of the gate. It's light as a feather 1 second and then coming directly for your throat. It reminds me a lot of Avril Lavigne on her debut album Let Go, and specifically this album Guts calls to mind Avril's sophomore album, which I think is still her strongest, Under My Skin. Throughout the track list of Guts, Olivia intelligently breaks down what she's experiencing in real time as she's growing up in front of the camera, in front of millions upon millions of eyes. And this new level of fame is something that she's obviously grateful for, but she's acknowledging the trauma of everything growing and making mistakes in front of the spotlight. This is explicitly explored on Making the Bed, which comes halfway through the album. I think it's a great deviation musically, lyrically. It's very honest, and it makes use of the idea, I've made this bed, now I must lie in it. Tracks like Logical and Love is Embarrassing orbit the same sun thematically, but I like how they deviate at the same time, because much of this record you could argue, yeah, we've heard it before, but the way it's packaged and the flair that she's able to give some of the lyrics, there are some takedowns here. Lacy is an acoustic-based song that does a great job at blurring the lines between jealousy and homoeroticism, because this fictional character, which I think she's kind of setting up to be the ideal woman, something that she's consistently comparing herself to, is another theme that is touched on throughout the record. Get Him Back is a hell of a good time, with that chirpy chorus immediately getting stapled to my head. I think it does a great job at calling back to the fun that 2000s music had, and that's kind of a big calling card for Olivia. I love the fact that you can tell that they were just having fun in the studio, even when the songs might veer into darker waters. A couple of ballads at the end, The Grudge and Teenage Dream, don't feel as strong as the album's counterparts, but I do see improvement and strengths in there. Even with them being the ballads, I think they're still very well written. Guts is a tight, feisty package that finds a lot of new avenues for Olivia Rodrigo to explore, and I found myself really hooked on these songs. I'm giving this a light 4.5 out of 5. Thanks for checking out my unscripted review of the new Olivia Rodrigo album. Let me know your thoughts on it in the comments section down below. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe. If you're new in town, you can check out my review of Sour above my head right now, and I'll see you soon for more on ARTV.